Jacqui, can I just interrupt? Did you say to the advocate in Tasmania that we should follow Donald Trump's example by deporting all Muslims who support Sharia law?
Yep, that's correct. Anybody that supports Sharia law in this country should be deported.
So do you know what Sharia law is?
Yes, but it doesn't have
do you know
rights.
what it is?
Me praying for Sharia law?
Of course, me praying 5 times a day is Sharia.
Okay.
Right? Like basic...
What about the equal rights for women? What about...
That is completely separate from Islam.
So now you can be a Sharia law supporter and be half pregnant at the same time.
What are you talking about? You are talking about stuff you don't know anything about. Like, okay, I'm not going to attack you personally. Frustration is that people talk about Islam without knowing anything about it, and they're willing to completely negate any of my rights as a human being, as a woman, as a person with agency, simply because they have an idea about what my faith is about. Excuse me, Islam to me is the most feminist religion, right? We got equal rights well before the Europeans. We don't take our husbands' last names because we ain't their property, right? We were given the right to own land. We the fact is, what is culture is separate from what is faith. And the fact that people go around dissing my faith without knowing anything about it and want to chuck me out of a country I have done, and Muslims... The fact is, Jacqui, I agree.
The fact is, we have one law in this country, and it is the Australian law.
In Islam,
it's not Sharia law.
In Islam,
not in this country.
Do you know what
not in my day?
In Sharia, it says you follow the law of the land on which you are on. It says in Islam that you follow the law of the land on which you are on. So don't tell me. You know anything about my religion?
Killed. You tell me that.
Jacqui,
that is not my religion.
Can I just say that shouting at each other is not going to help?
That is true.
So please stop. I just want to ask you, let me go to, I'm saying that to both of you if you wouldn't mind. Now, let's just go to Donald Trump was mentioned, and obviously he's redefining the rules around immigration in the United States, at least temporarily at this stage. You got caught up in that. Are you still caught up in it as a dual Sudanese Australian citizen?
So I was born in Sudan. I moved to Brisbane when I was a year and a half. And apparently because I was born in Sudan, I might be a terrorist. I was caught up in that because of the fact that I was born in Sudan. Despite the fact that I grew up in this country, I know no other real culture than Australian, really, because Australian is who I am. And I think the fact is that Donald Trump is changing a whole bunch of things. And the fact that we're normalising the kind of discussions and the kind of rhetoric that Donald Trump uses frightens me, right? It deeply makes me scared because, Jacqui, you talk about, and I apologise for yelling because that is unbecoming of a lady. You talk about protecting Australians. Well, I am Australian. I have gone around the world talking about how much I love Australia. Just wait, right? And so it hurts me deeply, right, when my elected representatives don't want to have me in this country simply because of my faith or because of where I was born. And I think this kind of rhetoric is what we saw pre-World War II. We saw it in the 30s, the same kind of othering. They are different, they're not like us, they do stuff that we don't accept. I back you 100%. We should look after people that are vulnerable in this country. I will back you to the hilt on that. But that is not mutually exclusive to being generous to those that are coming in.
Okay.
What do you understand Sharia law to mean?
Well, I think when it comes to Sharia law, you know, to me, it obviously involves terrorism. It involves a power that is not a healthy power.
In what way does it involve terrorism?
Well, I just think that, you know, Sharia law, you get it mixed up in, well, it does. If you're not going to show, if you're going to be a supporter of Sharia law and you're not going to support our constitution and allegiance to our constitution and Australian law, then, you know...
But they're not saying they don't support the constitution. Sharia law is it's a religious framework, but Muslims in Australia, the moderate Muslims, don't follow the extreme tenets of Sharia law in the same way that Christians don't take literally some of the violence that's inherent in the Old Testament.
Yes, but I still think, you know, they have that extremist when it comes to Sharia law, and that's not good for the country whatsoever.
Why aren't you urging Muslims not to accept the extreme elements of it, but by saying that if you reject Sharia law, full stop, you're asking them to reject their religion?
Well, you know, it's either one or the other. You're either an allegiance to Australian law and show your allegiance to our constitution, but you can't have 50-50.
But you're saying, though, if they follow their faith, they have no place in Australia?
That's what I'm saying, yes. If you're an extremist towards Sharia law, then you have no place in Australia.
Do you have a problem with Muslims?
No, I don't have a problem with Muslims. I have a problem with extremists in Sharia law.
But you say that you reject Sharia law full stop, not just the extreme elements of it.
That's correct.
So they would have to abandon their faith?
Well, there's an issue with it right now, and what I want to see there is their full allegiance, not 50%, but a full allegiance to our constitution, to the Australian Constitution and Australian law. It is one law for all, and that is the Australian law full stop.